most annoyed with myself I've ever been is I've been like, oh man, we only ordered 2 plates of meat.
Yes.
We all busted our nut on all this weird crap because we were just hungry.
Yeah.
You just ate a bunch of catfish bait. Ate a bunch of stink bait for catfish instead of this delicious bulgogi.
You ate the alien dinner from Galaxy Quest that they give Alan Rickman.
Yeah. Love that movie.
It's got little space bugs and squids in it and stuff.
Korean barbecue's
R.I.P.
great, but you gotta be using the rice paper. You make little tacos and burritos out of it.
I never even thought of doing
You
that.
take the rice pan. You've been doing it wrong forever. Okay, you
Ben
get
your glip.
you
Ben your glip.
You get the rice paper, maybe double it.
Okay.
Pour all the bulgogi in it. Wrap it around. Put some kimchi on it, too. Throw some kimchi on the grill. Hey, fucking have a time. And then dip it in that sweet Korean barbecue sauce that they have, you know? And then that's how it's Korean barbecue. Otherwise, it's not... Every culture likes to pretend they were the first to put, like, beef over a flame. You know, oh, you have to have Korean, but no, you have to Brazilian, but it's all a cow, retard, over a fire.
Yeah, it's true.
What makes it their thing is their sauce, and you got to figure out a way to make it cultural.
Yeah.
Make it special.
I just realized I've been ruling out Korean barbecue for the past 2 years because 2 years ago I went to a hot pot place and it sucked dick.
Not a hot pot guy.
Yeah, don't do a hot pot.
Which is a totally different thing.
You can't even see what's in there.
Yeah. Hot pot is like drinking out of a hot tub at a hotel.
Yeah.
Like that's disgusting.
That is pretty gross, actually.
If you're sick, it can be okay, but like, yeah, it's always a little odd.
I had a bad time.
It's always odd. You don't want to go to those places where, like they've said, they're like a little too Asian. Like they just name it, like, you know, cold fungus feet juice. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
Who gets this?
7 foot.
7 foot. Hot dog in severed leg. Improv.
Yeah. We call this Agent Orange, name of our restaurant.
Yeah. I love Korean barbecue.
Yeah.
LA staple.
What's the one to Two Moon Barbecue in Koreatown?
Yeah, that's a good one.
It was always a really good one.
Cheapish, yeah.
That was the one where they brought you the meat and you're like, this might be like from a dead homeless guy. I don't know.
You really don't.
Yeah. Like they bring you meat and it has like a ring and a dog tag in it. You're like, yeah, well, it's $9.95. So
Yeah.
all you can eat.
Yeah, you're like, was this man tortured before you killed him?
And you're like, oh, this is John McCain. Okay. Interesting.
I could taste the stress.
There probably are tons of Asian people in the U.S. being like, who's the Death Wish guy?
Death Wish?
Something Bronson.
Charles Bronson?
I was going to say Charles Bronson, but isn't that the other dude?
No, it's the other guy. The guy from Jurassic Park.
It's Action
Goldblum?
Bronson.
Jeff Goldblum. It's Action Bronson.
Yeah, Action
Yo,
Bronson.
I heard you got a death wish. Gonna rape you on the pinball machine after I eat some bucatino razor clams.
But regardless, I think there are probably Asian people like cleaning up because their neighborhoods are very clean, and I think every night they, they do the rounds. They have suppressed silencers on their Glocks, and they get.
Koreans?
They get it done. Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of these Asian communities that keep it very clean, not a lot of homeless. I think they're going around and they're executing homeless people.
They might. I don't really know what you're talking about because Koreatown's full of insane people.
I was about to say, Koreatown is like LA's asshole.
Yeah.
It sucks. Dude, I lived in Koreatown for a year. I've never been closer to blowing my brains out than that month, than that year.
Koreatown sucks.
This-
Taylor
It's terrible.
Steakhouse is great.
This footage we just watched, this is just them trying to open up parking spots.
Dude, Koreatown is such a piece of shit.
Yeah,
There's
it's a
just
valet.
Yeah, dude, there's cars in Korea.
That's the valet.
There's cars in Koreatown that haven't been moved in 50 years.
Yep.
You'll see like a Model T parked in front of a house in Koreatown.
Yeah. You'll see a car whose a spider now runs the car.
It's a big tarantula smoking a cigar. But like, I ain't fucking moving, pal.
Okay, but let's rule out Koreans. Chinese, they don't have any homeless. They don't have any homeless. Jace lives in a Chinese neighborhood. I don't want to out you.
Yeah. Well, we talked about, I live in Alhambra. Yeah.
Which is China, and they're very Asian, and you don't have any problems over there.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's more Pasadena, like sleeping in.
Yeah,
a little bit.
that's Pasadena,
Yeah,
man.
Pasadena has like turret guns on like patrol cars.
Jace lives in a
In
Chinese...
Pasadena, ADT can kill people legally.
They have like Civil War Gatling guns. Yeah.
Jace lives in a Chinese suburb.
Yes.
It's not... Chinatown's like, there's homeless people everywhere, too.
Yeah. Jace lives by though. Well, I guess I'll cut that out.
Yeah, please cut that out.
I'll bleep it out. I'll bleep it out.
Please cut. Give them my exact address. Is what you just did. You so have to bleep that. I cannot be the first member of the podcast who gets killed by a fan. That'd be so brutal.
You know what the problem with me is I can't let the line be moved. If I step over the line, I go, well, there's no line now. I can go anywhere.
Right.
That's always been my
And then
thing.
you do the grin of like, maybe I stepped over it. you go, maybe I got you killed right now. Who knows?
Yeah, like it's cute.
Yeah. No, but living in Koreatown, another thing I hate about Koreatown is there's no parking in the entire city.
If you live in Koreatown, you drive around the block for an hour at the end of your night to find a spot.
I literally would do that. I would get home from Mike's. There was one time I drove around for 90 minutes before I found a spot. And I just said, fuck it, I'm going to double park and I'll get a ticket. And I just did that and woke up at 7 a.m. the next day.
Yeah.
It's so bad. And there's also, what people do is, so they'll buy a beater car and they'll drive their car to work. They'll move the beater car in a spot that's for 2 cars only, like can fit. They drive it right in the middle of the 2 spots.
Oh, and then when they come back, they ram it from behind.
They know. I've literally seen it, like people just pushing their fucking Pinto ahead.
Like bumper cars.
Yes, literally.
Koreatown parking so bad. When Joey first got out here, he lived in Koreatown and he had a car from Toyota that he bought. He kept getting
so
tickets. He
terrifying,
didn't
by
drive
the way.
enough. You have to move it every 3 or 4 days for fucking street sweeping. And then you can never find another spot again. He was losing his mind. He just gave his car back in a month. He just gave us, so he just didn't have a car. He was like, I can't take it.
Yeah. Joey was getting a boot put on his car and then a boot put on top of that boot.
This is why I've been fantasizing. I'm gonna admit something to you guys because I have a baby on the way.
Sure. You've been threatening about leaving.
You know what's really been getting me off lately?
What?
If you send me a nice TikTok where someone lives on a farm with a bunch of chickens.
Oh, you're becoming
Ohio.
you're becoming one of those guys.
You're doing
And I'm going,
thing?
what am I doing living in this city with all this ho-hum? There's so much of this nonsense going on about
and
it.
It's
stinky.
We all know what the nonsense waves mean.
It's a bunch of ho-hum.
You want to trade in the ho-hum for some humdrum.
There we go. Ooh, but literally, if you just send me a TikTok where a lady lives in Ohio and she's like, I have chickens in my backyard. I'm like, man, what am I doing with my fucking life?
Yeah, but she suffocated her children weeks earlier in the pond in the back so she could tend to her chickens.
Yes.
And that same woman is you're jealous of her, and then 2 years later she gets raped by the entire town in Ohio because she showed a tattoo in the town square. You're on TikTok, dude. You're literally on TikTok being like, get ready with me to feed my chickens in my small punk rock farm I created in Ohio.
Yeah.
And then it's her going about her day, and in the back you can just see a guy in a January 6th hat looking through her window, just planning to rape her to death.
Yeah.
In her little, I'm so tired of the punk guys who are you know what, I was punk? Now I'm actually a farmer, is what I am. Yeah. I used to smoke cigs and play punk shows, and now I have a banjo, and I have a chicken.
It gets boring.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
You need that big city stuff.
It is weird to go from Gigi Allen to and Bingo what's his name-o.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Going from the Sex Pistols to Old MacDonald had a farm. Yeah.
I don't know. But, sometimes you just think, you go, yeah, why don't I live somewhere where why can't I go live in Alaska where I might open the door one day with a fresh cup of coffee and a bear rips my head off? Where my kid can be safe.